Welcome to this latest installment of Greensboro Business Profiles. I'm your host, Carla Banks. Join me as I feature a variety of business owners who choose to call Greensboro their home. It goes without saying, the small business community is critical to our local economy. Greensboro Business Profiles highlights their services and celebrates their contributions. Let's meet today's profile.
We're trying to provide solutions to both sellers and investors, and in turn that kind of creates opportunities for investors. And we do that with our three divisions of the company, which one being HomeGo, one being just New Western, which is where we actually operate the marketplace, and then also offering a solution for financing for investors through Sherman Bridge lending. With HomeGo, what we do is they reach out to homeowners, and typically we're looking for more distressed properties that don't fit the general mold of what typically goes through like a real estate agent and on to the MLS. Maybe they inherited the property and they live in Texas, and they don't have time to come here, or they don't have money to actually fix it up and it's in pretty rough shape. We kind of saw, hey, there's a niche there, something that like other companies, there's other people who aren't doing it, at least on a big scale like we do it across the country. And so we kind of stepped in and was like, hey, here's this company, HomeGo. We're gonna come in and we'll give you cash offers on the spot for your house. And we'll kind of help you with any situations that you have coming up. Sometimes we help negotiate down mortgages and loans. Sometimes we ship stuff out to people if they're like, hey, this is my grandmother's house, she's no longer with us. We have some stuff there, we're not able to come into town. And I've definitely shipped things off to people and kind of met movers over at houses and helped them like kind of load stuff up and open the house for them and shut it and locked it back for them. So we kind of got into that sector of real estate where we kind of saw there wasn't a whole lot going on. That solution there for the homeowners translating to opportunities for the investors, because then we take those homes and put them into the New Western marketplace where the investors are able to come find these houses that were not available to them on any other platform. And it's just another way for them to find houses, because if you're an investor, one thing you know is, hey, houses are hard to find. That's why how anybody makes money, is because there's not a huge supply, but there's a high demand. So these are just another opportunity of houses that, hey, this is something that I can go through New Western for, and these are opportunities that have kind of already been pre-vetted and pre-qualified, because we've already ran our numbers for them, and we've already, hey, this is kind of what we're seeing on the property, and here's an opportunity for you. We have disposition agents who are in charge of actually talking to the investors or bringing them into the marketplace. Again, going into qualifying them, making sure that, hey, what we have is a good fit for you, and you're a good fit for the market. One of my very first investors, one of my best investors that I had, he actually came through our website and reached out. Was like, hey, I'm looking for information about properties. I work at a hospital. He was a nurse. He's like, I want to get out of that. He had a decent amount of money kind of saved up, but when I first met him, he was kind of like only be able to do one house at a time, because he was having to throw every dollar he had essentially into one project. That project go and kind of hope and pray that, hey, I'm making money here, so I can get my money back, and then do another one. And I talked to him into, hey, look at leveraging. Look at not just throwing all your eggs in one basket. Let's spread your money out. Instead of buying one house or two houses at a time with a couple $100,000 you have, let's take that money and buy 5 houses, because you can put in less money up front because the loan takes care of the rest, and that's for your leverage. And so being able to use leverage, he's now does, I believe, around 3 or 4 houses at a time. He's typically buying a house, renovating a house, and selling a house. Like kind of has a little rotation going, and that was what kind of happened probably about 3 or 4 months after me and him met. And then me and him have had this conversation. He's like, man, I like coming to you because it's less legwork I'm having to do on the front end. I'm not having to go look for houses. I'm not having to, because I do buy houses for a living. I understand. I get hundreds of leads a day, and the majority, 99% of them are not very good. And so, I do all that work for them. That's less work that he had to do for himself, and he was able to stay at his job there until he got up enough to be able to quit or retire from that. And so he was able to be like, hey, I'll take a look at the market, I'll take a look at the houses that you're sending to me, and these are good, they're qualified deals. And he bought so many of them. It was great. Me and another gentleman who was in Nashville, we actually opened up the Charlotte office in 2019. We actually opened up an office in Raleigh shortly after. And so whenever we kind of were in Charlotte, we're like, hey, let's look at expanding to another place. we kind of looked north, saw Greensboro, and again, we have some investors who are out of Charlotte who are like, hey, have you looked at this area? Have you seen this? And so we kind of started running our metrics. We saw, hey, there's 400,000 plus houses that kind of fit the types of properties we look to buy, which have a lot of equity or they're older than 20 years old. And I think that's just in the Greensboro area, not even including Winston-Salem, High Point, the other areas we're in. We actually still communicate with people out of Raleigh, communicate with people out of Charlotte. We can send, I can provide the people here, if they're interested in houses in Charlotte, I can provide them with those opportunities. If they're, hey, what's Raleigh like? I can provide them with those opportunities. And same vice versa. People who are in Raleigh, they're like, hey, what's Greensboro going on? I can show them those opportunities as well. If you're looking for houses or you're looking for information or how to get in touch with us, newwestern.com. You can put in your information. Again, a disposition agent, like myself when I first started, would reach out to you, kind of say, hey, what are you looking for? And kind of go through the qualification parts of it, of, does this a good fit for you? Is it a good fit for us? And, get you plugged in.
I hope you enjoyed meeting today's business profile. If you are a business owner who would like to be featured or you want to nominate someone for Greensboro Business Profiles, send me an email. I look forward to hearing from you and spotlighting our next business profile.